One of the most respected competitive video games is Super Smash Bros. Melee. Throughout the years, its fanbase grew, and no matter what new version of the game released, it couldn't dethrone the king of party fighting games. Now, many generations of consoles later, Nintendo has undertaken a seriously ambitious project where they not only seek to bring new content to this universe, but also refine the system to such a degree that it could finally overtake this previous masterpiece. A new challenger approaches with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Most everyone knows about the extensive explaining Nintendo has done through several directs about this new title. I will not be going over any of the specifics in terms of the combat. For anyone who hasn't already seen these presentations, then I urge you to go watch the Nintendo Super Smash Direct after seeing this review. Starting up the game brings us to one of the most well-rounded menus and options I have seen to date. I've never seen so much customization in a game before. The options menu is so extensive that it's even possible to adjust the frequencies of the songs that play on certain stages. I can't realistically put everything into words for this video without it exceeding a reasonable time limit, but trust me, you can adjust anything to how you want it to be. And this is something many more developers need to learn from. Anytime we are given extra options to refine our experience, it's a win for players everywhere. After you're all set, you have access to 4 main sections of play: Smash, Spirits, Extra Games, The Vault, and Online. I'm going to break down each section as I discuss them separately. Beginning with Spirits. This is where the adventure mode of Smash takes place. The story begins with a powerful being of light destroying the bodies of nearly every creature in the universe, and leaves behind their spirits. The only one to escape is our small pink friend, Kirby. With the being of light creating duplicates from the stolen spirits, it's up to him to begin the fight and build a resistance by reclaiming each fighter. The first thing you'll notice is the pleasant looking map you get to explore through various paths that you unlock by freeing more and more spirits. The fights themselves aren't very difficult, which really doesn't matter, but I have to say that I really enjoy the idea of enemies having special characteristics. It makes each fight seem just a little bit different. This makes playing through this mode not seem so boring, and I really think they were smart on how they created it. The spirits also give unique bonuses to your own character, which expands upon this idea of adding extra bonuses during the fight. They can level up, be combined with other spirits for even more effects, and recycled for the creation of even more powerful spirits. This is easily the most unique change to the Smash Bros. Genre, and I actually quite enjoyed the differences it brought to this game mode as opposed to how I'm familiar with the rest of the game already. There's even the addition of a skill tree that increases the effectiveness of certain abilities, whether it be damage, defense, or even utility. When you come across members of the Smash cast, you fight their duplicate forms in order to add them back to your roster. From then on, you can choose to play them in this game mode, and they are also added throughout the game in other game modes as well. Spirits can also be obtained through the spirit boards. Certain challenges are laid out with varying difficulties, but can only be attempted once, and they have a time limit before they rotate out for another challenge. After winning, you must free the spirit with a well-aimed shot. If you miss, it can be tried again at a later point in time, and it will be easier. Most players probably won't care for this section of the game, but it's full of different ways to play and actually adds a lot of depth to this title. For the players who want more variation than just playing Smash fights over and over, this really is their saving grace. In the Smash section of the game, this is where most of the fun will be had. You have your normal Smash mode where up to 8 players can brawl it out with many different rules such as stocks, time limits, stamina, etc. Most everything can be adjusted, whether it's reducing the amount of items, only excluding certain items in a game, or even adjusting maps to have a more competitive feel. Having this many adjustments is part of how Super Smash Bros. Stays entertaining. Getting bored of playing one type of way? Change it up for a different experience. And with the enormous amount of maps to play on, there really shouldn't be any shortage of game time played here. Squad Strike is a really great way to have a miniature tournament with a 3v3 or 5v5 in a single match. You could have a roster of 3 to 5 fighters between 2 people, or I can see this really being a fun way to form hot seating with a group of friends to see which team can win. But if you really want to get serious, you'll want to play one of my favorite game modes ever created in Smash, the Tourney Mode. Back and better than ever, the true competitive mode of the Smash Bros. Series offers even more to enjoy. While you still get your typical selections of rules, bracket choices, and large amount of fighters, there's also some nice customization settings to be used to make it more enjoyable. It doesn't matter too much, but naming your tourney just makes a large get-together of friends more personal. Besides that, I also really enjoy how you can shuffle the bracket in the beginning just in case you don't like the first matchups. Battle all the way to the finals and become the champion. Other than those, you get a special Smash section that offers 3 ways to fight in a loose and fun environment. Custom Smash is great for hilarious battles with some serious weirdness. 300% sudden death is for those who enjoy the fear and love of one-shotting your opponents. And Smashdown is a unique way to battle through all the fighters only once and see who comes out on top. After playing quite a bit, the fighting feels just as smooth as ever. I remember things not feeling quite right in recent titles of the game, but this makes me think so much of Melee. Except now, we have even more ways to play and even more options to tweak each match. It can be made easier for players who aren't good at the game yet, or provide extra difficulties for veterans. Overall, it's a very well-rounded game mode for all players. Next is the extra games section. The first thing you'll notice is the reintroduction of classic mode that provides a very similar experience to the past, where you pick one fighter to battle through many stages of enemies and fight a boss at the end. Except, the difficulty seems much more finely tuned, and the bosses at the end are seriously great with the use of Ganon and others. Besides that, you can create customized Mii fighters with different customizable skills, and use amiibos to level up different versions of fighters that can learn new skills and become very strong. You can then play around in the 1 vs 100 battles with more difficult variations, or jump straight into the new training mode. This is something that many competitive players are going to seriously love. It's one thing to hear about, but it's another thing to actually see it in action. With so many different options to affect how you train, measurements to show trajectory for certain moves, and even showing boundaries for stages like Final Destination and Battlefield, you can take practice to a whole new level. Casual players won't have much use for this mode, but if they ever want to try out some new combos or how best to work with an enemy, this will give them the opportunity they never expected to have. To view all your records, replays, cutscenes, and more, Smash Bros has created a neat section to keep everything in order. This is also where you can view the many challenges each game mode has to offer, and just by looking at all of them, I can already tell this can take a while. You'll also have a chance to spend some of that gold you've been collecting while playing in the shop. It can be simple things like snacks and items for spirits, or more customizations for your Mii fighters. Data crazy individuals are also going to enjoy the massive volume of stats kept across general playtime and online play. You can track a serious amount of stats pertaining to KOs for every character, and it's separate between online and offline. It's almost overwhelming at first, but I'm sure most players will mostly care about the smash tags they obtained from previous fights with other people. My favorite part of this whole section is the library of music and sound effects you have access to. We are talking a monumental amount of tracks to listen to. I already enjoy when developers add their music in a playable format, but geez, this is heaven for people who want to listen to classic and new soundtracks. And finally, we have the online mode. The last time I played Smash online was Brawl, and it was seriously awful. You couldn't get into a decent game without lag, and it made me fear for the future of Smash. But luckily, Smash Ultimate has restored my faith in their ability to make online worth playing. I never experienced any real lag that would make it unplayable, and matching with opponents was pretty quick. Even if it wasn't very quick, you have the option to matchmake in the background while you are playing other game modes. This alone makes waiting for a match a non-issue. With the addition of spectating, brings back memories of how I used to make CPU characters fight each other for my own sick enjoyment. Being able to watch randoms for fun or even to improve your own game is more entertaining than you think. It's even better when you can watch your friends battle as well. You can take this to a whole new level with battle arenas. Whether it's with randoms online or with friends, it's Nintendo's way of joining a small group of people to battle, spectate, and generally chat. Honestly, the Nintendo app alone makes me laugh, but it really isn't as bad as you would think. If you're a social gamer, this is the perfect opportunity to have fun with people in Smash without having to rely on all of your friends being nearby or have a Switch themselves. This is going to be the main event for many players who fit that description, and you have to admit, it's nice that they have options like this, even if you have to deal with their garbage phone app to enjoy it to the full extent. Now, I do briefly want to discuss one main issue with the online multiplayer. What you need to know is that it's not very friendly to people who want to play with small groups of friends online. Smash has always been one of those titles you bring out when a friend was visiting your house, and you could load up CPUs and change up the fun to keep it going for hours on end. Battle Arena is the only real way to play with friends, and unless you always have at least 3 ready to play, you'll be forced to just battle each other in small scale matches. I was hoping we could have the options of adding CPU, changing rules on the fly, and overall making it a dynamic experience. But to change any rules, you have to make a completely new arena and drag everyone back in. This makes suggesting new rules and ways to play very cumbersome and not enjoyable. I don't understand why Nintendo always limits these options. But with 2019 just around the corner, these are very simple things players need. What about audio?
Don't let a single one get away!
you better have your volume up, because these sounds will get your blood pumping. I won't even go into how incredible the massive library of old and new music is, but enjoying these tunes while hearing those battle effects will send you to another plane of excitement. For a fighting game, this is so crucial to success. Your attacks can't just look good, you have to feel the impact with every hit as you crush your enemy. From all of my playing, I feel like each character gets a great representation from their original games, and still gets that Super Smash Bros. Magic in how powerful the hits can sound. And because we were playing on the Switch, how's the handheld? Among all the excitement for this game to finally release, I actually completely overlooked the fact that Smash on the go could be revolutionary. But seriously, it's a crazy feeling to take this monster anywhere you want to go. Visually, everything looks very good, with the only possible issue is running across small items or font on the screen. It's not a serious issue, but you may have to pull the Switch closer to your face at times. While some may be appalled that the Joy-Cons on the sides aren't GameCube controllers, they work just fine and get the job done. But do I need to say it again? Smash on the go. It really is hard to not be overly excited for how this game turned out, and I'm not even looking at this through the eyes of a fan of the genre. While I think the battling in this game is very well done, I honestly am more impressed with everything they did on the side. The quality of life additions, options for controls, the music library, refined training mode, and more and more. Is this game worth it while thinking about all of that? Absolutely yes. If you play through the Spirit Adventure, play with some friends, and bring it to gatherings as well as on the go, you really should get at least $1 an hour out of it. In my opinion, the Switch has a small list of games every single person should buy. And besides Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, and a couple others, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is finally the Smash we've been waiting for. And that's it for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Be sure to like this video if it helped you out, and subscribe to see my thoughts on upcoming titles. You can check out my social media by clicking on the links in the description below, and see what other games I have in mind to review even before a video is released.